act dance. I went to a talent school as well called Talent Limited High School in New York City. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And, and I discovered, people like myself in the ballroom scene, and that caused me to think about the future and what I was going to do and who I was going to become.
Exactly. Exactly,
and
yeah.
I always knew I wanted to do something for the ballroom scene community, but besides, performance and all that other stuff. But I wanted to give back, and I started watching Paris is Burning, and I started looking at it in a different way. And I was like, well, if Paris is burning, what happens after Paris burns? We must start rebuilding Paris. So I started thinking of writing a book, which I wasn't supposed to say anything about it yet, but I will be leaking it on the show eventually. And there's a book already that's out called Legendary as well. Shout out to that. It's a marvelous book. It's great. I have gotten to read some of the stuff, and it's awesome. I love it, But what I want to do as well is me saying rebuilding Paris is more of like rebuilding, people in the LGBT community and the ballroom scene as well. Because since the LGBT community is so much entwined with the ballroom scene, what a better way to entwine the both and communicate through radio.
Exactly. And I definitely have to mention my book, because I have a book out called Beyond Face Value. It's available on Amazon.com, and it's the story of my life. Now, for those of you who like a juicy read, it is a juicy read, because I didn't hold back. And it was kind of difficult for me to write, because there were some things that, when you're trying to be authentic to your story, you have to talk about things that are maybe embarrassing or mistakes that you made along the way. But I really tried to stay true to my story, so I laid it all out in the book. And it's definitely been a journey. And, and for me to do a story about my life, it couldn't just all be sugar-coated. I had to talk about the mistakes that I made and the wrongdoings that I've done. But also, I was able to talk about the lessons that I learned from them, like we've been saying throughout the whole show, the lessons that we learn from the experiences we go through. And it's a story from the beginning of my life to now. Although I'm only 21. Don't forget it, world. I'm sorry. You know what? I can't help it. I always say, whenever a guy asks me how old I am,
right?
I always say, you never ask a lady how old she is, honey. And the other question I can't stand is when a guy asks me how much I weigh. What? You
those are the wrong answers to ask. If you're trying to pick up a lady.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a big girl, honey, but I always tell them 120. You might have to times that by 2, but anyway.
Hey, everybody deserves a little love. That's how. That's how
people would be surprised, because even though this happened to me, I'm looking a lot better thanks to my doctor. And, I've always been like this kind of, I would say, foo-foo-y type of girl. I love the makeup and the hair, my nails done and all of that. So, the guys, they come around, they do. But this guy recently, he told me, he says, oh, baby. He was from New York, too. Really fine, cute. He says, oh, baby, being with you is like being with a sexy dragon. I didn't know whether to hug him or slap him. A sexy dragon? Excuse me, motherfucker?
Ladies and gentlemen, Raji. You know what I love? I love how on top of everything that you've been through, you found a way to somehow still enjoy your life and still be happy. And it's noticeable in your voice when you speak and when you talk. It's
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I try to make lemonade out of lemons, basically, and I've been blessed too. Yeah, honey.
Are you charging 5 cents? or 10?
Oh, baby, with inflation, honey. Oh, I'm charging, but it's not 5 cents. You want some of this lemonade, honey? You're going to have to pay, baby.
There we have it.
But it's going to definitely quench your thirst.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about, some more boy talk. Let's talk about boy talk. Do you have a boyfriend, a husband? Do you have lots of boyfriends? What's going on? Are you single? Are you married?
Yeah, basically. You're gonna have to put it. I'm single, and I date. I have a number of boyfriends, plural. You know what? I don't know if there's one guy that could handle me. I think I need a few of them, just to kind of keep it interesting, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. But,
I love it, though. I love it. That's what the show is all about, And so, do you have any deep, dark secrets?
Deep dark secrets. Yes. Oh my God! Let me see. Well, we all have our skeletons, honey. Yes. We all have our skeletons. How about this? Buy my book and you'll read all the secrets.
Perfect. I like that one. Where can they buy the book at again? Once again, it's on Amazon.com.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.com. It's on Amazon.com. Yeah. Well, it's amazing because I think we all have our secrets, but it's, like I said, when you write your story, you really, in order for the reader to really connect with you, you have to lay it all out there. Because they're going to know if you're not being real, if you're not being authentic, right. So I really tried to do that. But I also wanted to mention, I talked about how I wanted to be, my dream of being an actress and being on the film and everything. After this happened to my face, I thought that those dreams of doing that were over. But I'm going to tell you, anything is possible in life if you continue to hold on to faith and believe in yourself and stay true to yourself. I was able to land a role. Now, it's an all-trans soap called BALLROOM.
Ooh, wow.
And, all transgender actors and actresses. And I play the principal role of Aunt Norma. Now, I play an old woman, but still, it was an opportunity for me. Wow. I said, maybe next time I'll be able to play a sexy vixen. But,
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that also manifested. And so that's why I'm saying the blessings have really flowed, and I just, pray that they continue to. But it's called BALLROOM. It's an all-trans soap, and you can, for all your listeners, you can Google it, all-trans soap, BALLROOM, or you can go to my YouTube page and see some clips from the show.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's Rajee, R-A-J-E-E. If you type that in, you should find me on Facebook and YouTube.
Wonderful, marvelous.
And any cute guys that are listening that like sexy trannies, you can also type it too.
Yes. Are you a tranny chaser? Don't forget that's going to be one of the next up-and-coming topics on the show. Hopefully we'll get a couple good ones.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're going to have that's up-and-coming on the show?
Yeah, it's going to be coming soon. Maybe by next month.
Oh, wow. Whoa, the tranny chasers, honey. The thing is, it's so funny. A lot of the guys that I date, I would say like 97%, they're like basically straight identifying guys, heterosexual identifying. And it's so funny. A lot of them would never admit that they like my type.
Oh, trust. They love. I've witnessed plenty. I'm sorry to say. I'll spill the beans when you get my book. So
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the lifestyle back in your time. What is the new generation missing that you guys had in the golden era?
Wow. So you do know how old I am. I'm going to thank you. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. I think that technology is a great thing, and it's allowed us to have the world at our fingertips, with the computer and the internet and the Facebook and all of this social networking. But, like with anything, there's pros and cons to it.
Of course.
And I feel like when I was growing up, it was a lot more, I would say, one-on-one interaction. Because we didn't have the Facebook and the social networking that we do online. So, you'd go out and you'd play or you'd hang out with your crew. It was a lot more of that. Now, most people are online and they're on Facebook. And don't get me wrong, I love the technology because it allows us to touch, to communicate with the world. Like I said, that guy that messaged me from China. I mean, that wouldn't have happened in 1985.
Right.
But at the same time, there are pros and cons to it. But I will say this. When I was growing up, we did not have the LGBT support that a lot of the schools have now. And I think that that's a wonderful thing for our community, especially our LGBT youth coming up, that they have that sort of thing in school now. Because it was hard. Let me tell you, I went through some bullying. It was really, really bad. And there wasn't any, sort of support LGBT club.
It wasn't even noticed back then.
It wasn't. It was almost like you wouldn't dare talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
If you want to ask me, I believe back in the day when I was going to school, there was a lot of bullying, but also the teachers were bullying without knowing it as well. Since it was the old school fashion. Oh, yes, I'm throwing shade.
Oh, my God.
I'm throwing shade to the education department.
You know what? You are right, though. Because let me tell you, I can almost... There was some times where I had guys at school that were bullying me, and it was almost like the teachers were like, letting it go on, because in their mind they're like, maybe that'll toughen him up.
Right.
You get it?
Old-fashioned tradition, bringing up, and that is what was crazy about it, because there was numerous of times that I would walk in late for no reason, and it was really an accident or something really happened. I would walk in 2 minutes late after the bell, and I would get a slap. Get out of my classroom! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! And I was like, what did I do? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm being bullied in school. I'm being bullied by the teachers. There's a couple of teachers that don't like me. Some of these teachers are failing me when I know I'm trying my best. And
right.
And then you have It was
rough. It was rough. Hey, remember Dancing on Air?
Yes.
Dance Party USA?
Yes.
Well, this is a secret. I used to dance on there.
Wow. Tell me more. Tell me more.
And you wouldn't recognize me now, and you wouldn't know who I was, but I was the one that looked like Prince. And what I'll do is I'll even send you a before picture. But I was not many people know that, because that was in the day before I transitioned.
Yes, please do send me the pictures, because I have a column on BALLROOMSceneRadio.com, which everyone can go there and log on. It's free, and we have something called The Tea. And what I like to do is I like to put secret little things, and use those as a historic, showcase, I guess you want to call it. And
wonderful. I'll send you the before and the after. Yes. How's that?
Yeah,
and
actually,
even the in-between.
Oh, definitely. I want to see it all, honey.
Ooh, that's what they all say. And then when they see it, they're like, okay, I'm done. I'll holler, bye.
And then they call back for some more.
Oh, you got it right. Yeah, give them about a week or so, or a week or 2 weeks.
They gotta think about it, and you gotta give them. They gotta wait till it stands at ease. So they gotta tease themselves and be like, "Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this?"
Exactly.
And then when that thing is standing up, you already know they come calling you.
I love
and then they
it.
always seem to call you when you have company, and you have to be like, "Ooh, girl, hold on, I gotta take this call in the next room," because
Yes, exactly. And let's not talk about blowing up the phone, because if you don't answer, they're calling like